Hi, welcome to another vlog. Today we have a few fun things, I guess. I don't know, maybe they're not fun for you. But sorry if my camera's shaking. If I laugh, it jiggles my arm and then moves the camera. But we're going to try to put the quilt together, at least so she can sew like the little strips and stuff. So we're gonna do that now. And then my daughter has her recital tonight, my 7-year-old, for her Let's Play music for the song she wrote. So maybe once she's like all ready for it later, we'll have her practice one more time for you guys and you can see it. But we're gonna make brownies for her teacher, and she started writing a card for her. So we're gonna finish the card for that. So I'm gonna show you the brownies that I like to make and that people ask for the recipe all the time because they're really good brownies. So we're gonna do that, and then we might play some games. We'll see. And then the paint I got in the last vlog wasn't enough. I'm always like torn between, because I'm like, I don't need a gallon of flat paint, but a quart of flat paint might not be enough. I painted the ceiling last night, and I feel like it just looked better if I had one more. So we might just run to Walmart because it's closer to the Home Depot, and they have little quarts and stuff. So we might do that this morning before lunchtime once the baby's up from her nap. And then that might be all for today. I don't remember if there's anything else. That's what we're gonna try to work on this morning. So we're going to get this quilt laid out on the floor and figure out what we need to do. I am not a quilter. I can sew. I'm still not like amazing at it, but you know, the basics, we can figure it out. Hopefully, you know, so don't be too judgmental on the way that we choose to go about this over here. We're just doing the best we can, okay? So let's turn the camera around and we'll show you how we're gonna put this quilt together. Okay, this is what we have so far. We cut down the batting, and then we're going to cut the bottom so that it fits, and then we'll go around and pin everything so that it's a little bit easier for her to work with. And then I think she's just going to stitch on either side. Sorry, you can't see my finger. On either side of each of these seams. Maybe an 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch. We'll see. We'll see how close is easy for her to get on her sewing machine. And then, you know, that'll be her like quilting part of it, because we're not gonna have like a big machine or anything do it. We're just gonna do it that way. And yeah, and then we'll have to put the binding and everything on the edges and stuff as well. But that's kind of where we're at right now. So we're gonna cut this and then we'll pin it. Okay, so Alana has almost pinned this whole entire side, and then as she gets that pinned, we'll cut to try to make sure stuff stays even. So while she is doing this, I'm gonna start making brownies because they take like 45 minutes to cook, so that we can still hopefully get to Walmart before it's time for naps for all the littles. Okay, so Lydia is gonna put the butter in here. So it's a cup of butter, and then there's 11 ounces of dark chocolate. I just use Ghirardelli chocolate chips, but you could use whatever dark chocolate you like. So we'll put these 2 sticks of butter in there, which is a cup, and then put it in the microwave until it's melted. So usually I put it on for a minute, stir it, then on for 30 seconds, stir it until it's nice and melted. Okay, and then in this bowl, I'm gonna do the dry ingredients. I don't always separate the dry ingredients. This recipe I like to do because I add chocolate chips. That's not part of the original recipe. And so I like to mix the chocolate chips in with a little bit of the dry so they don't sink to the bottom. So I'm gonna put a cup and 1/4 of flour in here. And then it calls for a teaspoon of salt. I don't put in a teaspoon of salt because I just try not to salt things as much. And then I'm also gonna put flake salt on the top, so I don't want too much salt. And then I'm gonna put in 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder in here as well, and then I'll whisk it together. And this is all happening usually while I'm melting the chocolate. Lydia's melting the chocolate right now, and she's going to stir it to just kind of mix up the chocolate a little bit, but I'm gonna whisk this and then we'll go back to melting chocolate. So I just realized we don't have enough eggs, which is fine because we're going to Walmart, but we're not at Walmart yet. So the baby is awake from her morning nap, so we're gonna get her dressed and we're gonna go to Walmart now. The chocolate is still sort of melting. Everything will be fine. We'll just leave it here, turned off the oven. We'll go get eggs and paint. It's a very interesting combination. And yeah, I was gonna do groceries tomorrow, but I wasn't thinking how we were gonna make these today. So it's okay, since we weren't going, I might have asked someone in our neighborhood or whatever for eggs, but since we're already going to Walmart, I'm like, okay, we'll just get eggs when we go, and then we'll come back and finish, since it's not like super time sensitive. So we're actually gonna run to Walmart now, and then we'll continue making the brownies when we get back. All right, we have secured the eggs and the paint, but the eggs were important to continue on this recipe. So we're gonna keep going. The chocolate wasn't completely melted, so we're gonna keep melting that, and then we'll mix in the eggs and keep going with the recipe. All right, here's our yummy chocolate and butter mixture here. So I have 5 eggs, and I'm gonna add in 3 of them and then whisk them. I'll just use this whisk that I used for my flour. Whisk them in, and once they're incorporated, I'll add the other 2. Okay, I got so excited to add the eggs, I forgot to add the sugar. It's okay. But usually I put the sugar in first. So we're gonna do 1.5 cups of just white granulated sugar, and then we'll do 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and we'll mix that all together, and then we'll add 2 teaspoons of vanilla and mix that all together. So we're gonna get to that point. All right, so we have that all mixed together. So now I'm gonna add in our flour mixture that we did earlier, almost all of it. I'll leave just a little bit to put in some chocolate chips, so there's just a teeny in there. And then I'm gonna use my spatula and just fold this in until it's mostly incorporated, not completely, because then I'm gonna do the chocolate chips. Okay, so I have my chocolate chips here. I don't have an exact measurement. It's about 1 cup. I usually do some dark chocolate chips and milk chocolate. I didn't have very many milk chocolate, so I just put semi-sweet. I just grab a couple handfuls and put them in, and then I just cover them with the flour, and that's about it. This is different than the recipe. I just like the extra like gooiness, so we're just gonna pour those in there and then finish folding this all together. Okay, so I just have a 9x13 pan here, sprayed it, put parchment in it. I like the parchment just because I can take it out and like make them look nicer. And then I'm gonna pour our batter in, and then Lydia can sprinkle the top of it, if I can talk, with some salt. And this is just kind of like a flaked sea salt. So she's gonna do that over the top. Then we'll put it in a 350-degree oven for, like I said, it's about 45 minutes in my oven, but you'll have to kind of see how it is in your oven. Sorry, this bowl is really heavy and it's not easy to hold. And so then, yeah, just take it out. You want it to be a smidge gooey in the middle because you don't want it to get dry, okay? But I'll let you see what they look like when they're all done. Here's the actual recipe. If you want to copy this down, the rest of the instructions are on the back, so I guess I can flip that over in a minute. But like I said, I add chocolate chips and then salt on the top. So there's only, I guess, a few things on the back just to mix it and bake it. So pretty simple. I don't remember where it is originally from. I found a recipe online I liked or mixed a couple together. So anyway, there's the brownie recipe. Okay, here is the blanket. It's all pinned, I think, and it's mostly lined up and good. It took a few tries between Alana and I to get it, but I think we got it. So now it is ready for her to sew. Okay, so here is the brownies taken out of the pan. I might have you zoomed in. Whoops. There you go. And so here are the brownies. And what I'm gonna do, have my knife, I'm gonna cut around the edges because they're a little bit crispier anyways. That's just how they get when the inside's softer. And then it just makes nicer, cleaner cuts. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll put them in a little container for her teacher. All right, I'm holding the camera awkwardly because I was like, oh, I didn't even introduce this. So Lydia's gonna play her song for you right now. She's not in her dress yet. She'll put on a dress pretty soon. So we can go to her recital, but we thought we'd show you her song. She wrote it herself. So she's gonna introduce it, play it, and then she will bow for you. So I hope you enjoy it.
My name is Lydia Paulson. Today I'll be playing Friends. If you listen closely, you can hear the doggy cat purring.
right, so it is another day. It's actually a whole week after I first started this vlog, just because this week has been so incredibly crazy. It's been like our prep week for our trip. We're going to St. George, which is in southern Utah, this next week. And then I have surgery a few days after we get back. We'll get back on Friday, and then Monday I have surgery. So it's all very quick. So we've been trying to get all these things done this week. I've had my pre-op appointment. I've had a physical to make sure everything's good. I have blood work done, like just all the things to make sure we're good to go for surgery. And yeah, I picked up a knee scooter. I had a sweet friend who works on the campus that my husband does say that, oh yeah, they have a place here. You can come and check them out. Basically, it's free. And she's like, they have really good ones that I really like. She's like, I tried a few different places because she just had, I don't know if she had a broken ankle or something, but she was recently on a knee scooter for 5.5 weeks. And so she's like, this is the best. Like, I really liked these ones. So she met me on campus yesterday and showed me where to go. And I got the crutches and the knee scooter. So I think we're mostly ready to go, but it's just been a really busy week. And graduation is today, so my husband is at that. The baby's sitting right here. We might have a toddler that barges in. So we'll see if he'll just come in and sit, or we'll try to get him to go back downstairs. But I can hear him coming up the stairs right now. So anyways, we're just trying to get a few things done. Are you gonna come sit? You gonna shut the door? Shut the door. And I figured I'd just show you a haul. I have a bunch of stuff for our trip. Come sit over here, buddy. I have a bunch of stuff for our trip, and so I was just like, maybe you'd be interested in seeing a few things that I'm taking and kind of explaining what we like to do along the way. So I did post a video last year. It would have been about this time last year because that's when we went to St. George as well. That had like my kids' backpacks and a little bit more specific details, just that type of video. So if you want to check that out, you can go look at that. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to kind of go through everything, show you the few things that we got, show you a few food items, and then that will be that. So, and we'll probably end the vlog there just because we have the next couple days to pack and be ready to go. So there won't be a whole lot of time for vlogging, but I actually think he has a dirty diaper, which is probably why he's up here. So I'm gonna go change him, and then I will be back in a minute to show you this stuff. Okay, we'll see how long we can go here. I have both kids sitting here, and I'm not sure how long either of them will be happy. I had to change 2 dirty diapers, so here we are. We're trying to make it through the day. So I think I'll start with the food items. So I think last year, we went to the store. This was not something I even remembered when I was thinking about it this year, but we went to the store and I gave them the option of using some of their allowance and picking out some toys they wanted to have, and notebooks, not necessarily toys, but like notebooks or pens, things to do in the car because it's like a 6-hour drive. And so they could use their allowance. It was optional. They didn't have to do it. And I can't remember if I had them buy their treat because I was like, I'll let you pick one treat, which we just never like go to the store and let them pick treats. But I was like, you can pick one treat. And so I think they paid with that with their allowance as well. I'm not really sure. We have all the musical toys going on. I don't think, like, I can't remember for sure is what I'm trying to say. So you'd have to watch the video from last year to know. And I don't know. You want to play with that? And so this year I just paid for that stuff as well, like their treat. They didn't buy any extra notebooks or anything like that because they already had a lot. So I was like, okay, we're just picking out a treat. We're trying to keep it as simple as possible. And then some snacks. And last year too, if they wanted any extra snacks besides what I was just doing for the family, then they could use their allowance to buy that. So that's kind of where we are with that kind of stuff. So they picked out these puffs, and most of these snacks, there's a few things that we get sort of normally, but a lot of it we don't. So like these are Cheez-It Puffs. So they wanted to try those. I'm trying to think where to throw all this stuff. And then pretzels. We get pretzels sometimes. We don't usually have these kind of pretzels. I like the sticks usually because they're easier for the little kids. And then straws. So I got these because especially my baby, she likes to chew on these or suck on them. And they had the Zesty Ranch because I didn't want to go to Sam's Club. Sam's Club or Costco is where I'll get the huge bag of them. And so they had a few different options, not the like original. So I figured Zesty Ranch was hopefully a good option. And then my 9-year-old son wanted these. This is something last year he would have paid for, but my toddler will also eat these. These are the yogurt covered raisins, but these I think are strawberry and vanilla. And so we got a few of those that I'll put, like I just will separate snacks and put them in their bags, and that's all they get. Usually for the whole trip, depending on if I keep a separate bag. Sometimes if this is making any sense, I have them over here. It's kind of a distraction for me. But sometimes I will make a whole bag of just family snacks for the week and only put a few snacks in their backpacks that are just for the drive down. And sometimes I will give them all the snacks that they get for the week. And if they eat them all at one time, that's all they get. So it helps them practice a little bit of portion control and self-control. Thank you. And so there's those few different options that we kind of have there. And so we'll see what we do this year. I'm not super consistent about it. It just kind of depends, and it depends how many snacks we have. And toys. I'm getting all the toys. And then maybe after I finish the food items, I'll see if I can get them to go downstairs and be happy with their other siblings. But then, let's see, what do we have here? Oh yes, I got some of these Dots pretzels as well because this guy really likes these pretzels. So I got those, and then my daughters both chose the Nerd gummy clusters. And so we have those for both of them. There's another bag around here somewhere. My older daughter really likes the like puffed Nerds. I don't even know what they're called. They're like giant Nerds, and they're actually pretty darn good. I don't know if they sell them anymore, but she got them a few years ago for Christmas, and she always is on the lookout for them and couldn't find them, and it was very sad for her because that's really what she wanted. So we got those, and then I got just watermelon Sour Patch Kids for me and my husband to share, and then I also bought a couple bags of the super sour ones, like the Lemonade Fest. My husband struggles with staying awake while driving, and so he's puts Sour Patch Kids like in his car when he's on trips and stuff for having to drive down to the airport and all that kind of stuff because it's like an hour and a half away. And so he'll put them in his car and chew on them because it just like, it's all sour, and he puckers up and wakes him up because caffeine doesn't work. Like he's tried all sorts of things. He falls asleep so easily everywhere, which is really good when he's flying. He'll just conk right out and can take red eyes and has no problem, whereas I can't sleep anywhere, especially on a plane. And so anyways, it works well for him. But what's the matter? I end up driving quite a bit because of that, which is fine. I like to drive. And then my oldest son also got a bag of these ones because he loves Sour Patch Kids. And then my 9-year-old boy wanted Kit Kats, so he got mint and dark chocolate, and then just a normal one. They had another flavor. What was it? I don't remember, but it was like a newer flavor, and I think he almost tried that. And then the other bag of the Nerds, like gummy clusters. So those are the food items, and then I'll mix it with some of the snacks that we already have and give that to them. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully we have a few minutes of peace and quiet before the kids end up back up here. I just ran up and down several flights of stairs, so I'm really tired and can't breathe. Anyways, let's see. What do we want to show you next? Like just some, I don't know, these are sort of random, but I got these little hats for my baby. Maybe I'll use this one for my toddler. I initially had gotten her a bigger size, like 2 to 4T, because she's pretty big. But this hat was kind of big. Like it still fits her, but it's a little bit big. So I got just the smaller size. And this one fits her a little bit better, but this would actually fit him. So these are for hiking. They have the little thing on the back so their necks are protected from the sun. So that's what I got those for. And then I got her a few lighter weight pajamas because until this point, she's mostly been able to wear her brother's pajamas. And so every time you see her, she looks like a little boy because she's in his pajamas. And so every once in a while I've had to buy a few more pajamas for her because we just haven't had enough or whatever, or they haven't been warm, like fuzzy pajamas. But now we need more not fuzzy pajamas because it's going into warmer weather. And where we're going for our vacation is going to be warmer. So I got these, but I'm also like, is it going to be cold? Is it going to be hot? Do I need to bring both? Like her fuzzy pajamas and these. So these ones, I was torn about. I was going to get like I think 24 months or maybe a 2T was the next option for fuzzy, not fuzzy, for footed pajamas. She's already in 18-month ones and she's 9 months old today. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. But I was worried they'd be huge on her because the 18-month ones are still a little bit big. Like they're still just a smidge long and a little bigger through this area. Her thighs are what's so big that I have to keep bumping up clothes because they just don't fit into anything. So anyway, I really was torn about jumping up sizes. I had just redid our 72-hour kits in the last vlog and had gotten bigger pajamas and I was like, those things were huge. So I decided to get footless pajamas. And so these ones are 18 months, but I figured if she gets long over the summer, then they'll still work. And since it's warmer weather anyways, and she's in a sack, so I have fleece sacks, but I also have cotton sleep sacks too. So you could kind of mix it up, or if it gets really hot, you know, she could be in a cotton one instead. So, you know, we can make a mixture of outfits here to try to get the right temperature going. But I thought these were the best option. So I got a few different ones. These are just the Simple Joy, like the Carter's brand off of Amazon. And there's some polka dots, ballerinas. I think there's 6 of them. And like nighttime, I guess, I don't know. And this one has a cute little bumblebee on it. So that's what I got for her for pajamas, and they come in packs of 3, which is why I didn't buy, and like they're a little bit more expensive. Like buying clothes for kids is expensive, and so I didn't want to buy 9 pairs of pajamas. Like usually I just end up doing laundry in the middle of the week, or when she has 1 or 2 pairs left, I'll do laundry so that we make sure we always have pajamas for her. So that's kind of how I do things. But I got those thinking about this trip. And then also just thinking about summer coming up. I'm hoping it'll be warm here. It's supposed to be snowing when we leave on Monday, if I didn't already mention that. And so it's supposed to be warm where we're going, but I'm just like, why is it gonna snow? It's May. It's not supposed to snow anymore. So it's been pretty cold the last few days. So we'll see when she actually wears those jammies here. Okay, the next thing that I got my kids is all these sticker books or just kind of activity books. So last year, did I get them a sticker book last year? Again, I can't remember. I'd have to watch the video again. But they picked some stuff out from the store that they wanted to do or to draw or whatever. And this year I was like, okay, if you want one like sticker book or activity book, I'll get you that for the car, like something new that you can do, because usually it's just like Christmas time that they'll get these types of things, sometimes Easter, or if they buy it with their own money. And so I let them pick out what they wanted, and my 7-year-old really wanted a big sticker by number book. She's just had some of the smaller ones, so she wanted a big one, and this is what she picked. So this is a nature one, and it has several different pictures. And here's all the stickers. I'm just showing you the stickers, not the pictures. They're all at the front, but like a leaf and an acorn, I guess. Some flowers. I think there's, you know, some ocean scenes in there. So that's what she wanted. And then my other daughter wanted one with dogs. And so we've already had so many of these books. Sometimes it's hard to find the ones they haven't. So this has a bunch of dogs that they're able to do the stickers with. And then my oldest said he already had a lot of sticker books, but he's been working through them, to be honest. And so after he got the book he chose, he's like, oh, I guess I could have done a sticker book, but we're just sticking with this because we didn't have very much time to get something different. But he's done a dot to dot, like the extreme dot to dots before, and they keep him occupied in the car. You know, like they're so little. And they go up so high. I don't even know how high these numbers go. 900, 800. I'm seeing mostly 800 or 900, but Anyway, so that's what he's doing. And then my 9-year-old wanted something, he said, with logic puzzles, basically. Or like he said mystery, and I was like, okay, what do you... And so we got this book. This is Logic Workbook for Gritty Kids. And that's the laundry going, trying to get through everyone's laundry so we can pack. But this is something, I think Angela Braniff actually had it on her list. And so I was looking for just logic type things for him to do. And I don't know if this exactly fits the bill. Some of this stuff might be too easy for him. Some of it might be too hard. You know, it might be just right. I don't know. But there's some different things in here that deal with logic, and that's what he wanted. There's a big chunk of this book that's just all the answers. But... and I think there's some pages where you can like show your work or do your work if you need, like, oh yes, right here, like some workspace to try to figure out the answers. So anyways, hopefully he'll like that. And then I did get this as I was looking for logic puzzles, not for him, but well, it could be for him. It was just for basically anybody who wanted to do one. And it's these grids logic puzzles. Did you ever do these in elementary school? I wasn't homeschooled, so we had a lot of these in elementary school. I feel like when we had substitutes or as a, like if you finish schoolwork early type of thing, you could work on it where it gives you questions and then you have to try to eliminate who had what, or, you know, that sort of thing. Like the name of the craft, the person. It's kind of like Clue, I guess. It gives you the clues and you have to eliminate all the possibilities. So that's I got just for them to be able to share. And then the last few things that I got, well, I don't know if there are a few, were some extra activities for my toddler. Last year I bought like new toys for him to, you know, it's fun to have new toys on a trip. It keeps him occupied. And then I just put them in my church bag. So then he had some fun things to play with at church, which is probably what will happen this time as well. So I got him a few new things that he could take on this trip. So I'll show you those in a minute. I also got these for me. They're like the little poles. What do you even call them? I don't know, trekking poles, I guess. And I haven't ever used these before, but I thought it would be a good idea since my ankles are already pretty weak and I'm going to be packing a baby and have a backpack on. And so I figured these would help me not mess my ankles up more. And then I'll probably have to use them even more after ankle surgery as well, just to have extra support and stuff. And it was funny because when we were getting the crutches and stuff, the paper said, oh, practice the week before surgery so you're ready to go. And my husband's like, oh great, you can practice, bring these down to St. George and practice. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I was like, but wait, I have these poles. I'm like, it's basically the same thing. I'll be practicing my crutches, it'll be fine. So anyways, I have those, and then I got these few activities to show you. And some of it is coloring stuff. So last year he was too little really to care about this, but this year I thought this would be fun, and I got the mess-free ones obviously because I don't want him to color on everything. So these are all just from Amazon. This is a bluey one, baby shark one, and so I thought he would hopefully enjoy that. You know, it's again, activities that entertain him for 2 seconds, and then we move on to the next thing. And then there's this. This was in a package, but I had opened it. So this is a busy book sort of idea. But I liked that it had, you know, some buttons, some snaps. He likes that kind of stuff. And then like the little beads that he can play with, some little gears, some things he could unsnap. So there's a lot of different activities. It wasn't, you know, he's not like a reader, and I didn't want anything with Velcro because he'll just pull it all off and throw it and it'll be all over the car. And so I was trying to find something that didn't have those things. And I do like that it has, you know, the ABC. So as he becomes a little bit more familiar, and there's animals on them as well, that we can utilize that. So I thought that was a pretty good option. And then this, it's gonna be loud. I have to take it out of the plastic. But we used to have one of these before, and I don't think he'll actually use this because he'll probably just make a mess of it. But I feel like it could be fun for my other kids. We had a smaller, like, travel size one. This is a tangram, like, puzzle thing. And, oh, this opened way easier than I thought. I was like, I'm gonna have to take a break and open this. And it's, you know, magnetic, which is super nice. And so this one has fewer pieces, and these ones are actually wood. Some of the ones we've had have been foam pieces. And then it has a bunch of pictures over here. So these ones obviously are the hard, and then it shows you here the answers, or if you have someone that just needs to start on this type of style, then they can do that. And once they are a little more advanced, they can do these pictures. And then this is magnetic over here, so they can sit here and do it. So I'll probably just keep this again in my bag with the toddler stuff. Probably not for the toddler, just because he'll lose the pieces. But my older kids, as they get bored with their stuff, might want it. And then we got this Busy Cube. These things I haven't even opened yet. So I got a few different options with Busy Cubes because I was like, okay, what would he like? What could keep him occupied? And then I think there's one that's a little bit more friendly for my baby as well. But, you know, it has a fidget spinner here. It has this little like nut you can take off, and then some different lock mechanisms. Turning, there's keys. I know one of the complaints said that this breaks off, but again, I was okay with that. I'm like, just something to kind of keep him occupied. And so there's some different things that he can play with on there. So I thought we'd try that out. And then this one, I believe it's a little bit more, I don't know how to explain. This one's like real world stuff, right? And actual materials. And I think this one's more plastic. So let me see if I can break it open so I can show you. And so this one I thought he can play with it too, but it'd probably be better also for my baby. But it has, oh, what is this? Oh, this is cool. Like a little key thing too here. You put it in and you can, whoa. I didn't know it makes noise. Maybe we should take it back. We shouldn't have things that make noise. But then some just things that they can turn or play with, which again, I think he'll think this one's fun too. And I try to keep him as occupied without toys or food as long as possible when we're driving. And I forgot to mention, we don't do screens in the car, and we have a TV. We do not use it, and we never have. And we try to just keep it that way. And our kids are actually really good at just reading books and doing their games, drawing, all that kind of stuff, doing the sticker books. And so that stuff keeps them pretty well occupied. Obviously, like everyone, they get a little antsy, but for the most part, they're fine. So they don't have any screens or anything. And my husband did just take my older kids to the library. So they have a whole bunch of new books to read. I told them they could only really bring one like big book because we're not carrying a bunch of books. Oh, are you back? Hold on a second. All right, I'm back. He comes in and wants to stay and then pretends like, oh, I'm just coming to get toys for Becca because her toy bin is still up here. And so he's like, I'm just gonna grab these toys and go. Okay, good. So I got these little guys. I thought my toddler would think these are fun as long as he doesn't decide to eat them, but they're like, they're magnetic. So, and there's a bunch of them in this bag. So I thought that could be something to pull out too that he would think is super cool. And then the last thing I believe is in this box. And this is a learning resources thing that like ships separately. It's still from Amazon, but, and this is just they're fidget tubes, but they're like, I don't even know what those things are called, with the water and the bubbles and all that. It's like the same thing, except they have a few different, like this one has sand, this one has beads, and this one has the water. So it has like the sparkles or whatever in it. So this one could drive us crazy. But again, I feel like, especially for my baby, this one could be fun for her as well. So it says touch, sight, and sound. So they're different sensory options right there. So I got those for her. All right, so that is my haul for our St. George trip. Obviously there's other things that are going into this and everything, but those were just the new things that we got and the few food items that were new that we don't already have in our pantry or our fridge. And then we'll pack everything up usually. So my kids are doing their laundry today because it's Friday and that's their laundry day. And so they'll do their laundry, and then I'll either just hand them a list or just tell them of things they need. They'll bring their piles in here and I'll sort everything and just make sure that they actually got everything they need. They have their swimsuits and everything, and then I'll put them in packing cubes and then try to fit them all in just one big suitcase. Usually that's what we can do because we just have the back of our Suburban, which has a lot of space, but when you add all these people, when you have 8 people and then we have to take pack and plays for both my toddler and my baby, and, you know, put in all the stuff, hiking shoes, everything. Once you put all the stuff in, it's pretty full. And so that's why I try to pack as minimalistic as possible and keep things as simple as possible. And then they'll have their backpacks, which will be by them. And I'll have the bag for like my baby and for my toddler with all the snacks and different things like that. So that's kind of how we do it, at least for road trips, and it works pretty well for us. So I think I'm gonna end this vlog here. I don't actually know how much footage I have altogether because I haven't even had a chance to look at last week's stuff. But we aren't really doing much besides packing the next few days. Like, we're doing a lot, but not not much to vlog about, and stuff that I just need to get done anyways, and it takes longer to vlog it than it does just to do it. And so I'm gonna just end this one here, and then you probably won't see another one for a while since I'll be having ankle surgery right when we get back. And so it'll be, I don't know, a month or two maybe before there's another vlog when I feel up to filming stuff. So just a reminder, if you enjoy these types of videos, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you next time.